Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we have a ton of stuff to discuss. Now, first of all, guys, if you haven't seen what I look like yet, you can check out this interview right there, or I can show you guys right now. So, the only problem is I try to put this thing in for longer, but as you can see, it's a little bit laggy. All right, you can see my butler right there, though. So that was a little bit of a problem. So we're not going to do the video just quite yet. And I also want to know if you guys would like to see it more, or rather just keep it the way we usually do it. I'm not sure what the best way would be. So I'm just trying some stuff out, and we'll get it going. Having said that, let's get some coverage. So first of all, Mikkel Market said this over on Twitter. XRP Army. Critical question. We need to be asking John Deaton and Attorney Jeremy right now. If Congress passes a law giving clarity to XRP, what is the impact of Ripple and the SEC still being discovery versus discovery being over? Please retweet, help this get seen. And so my answer is, guys, we covered this partially during the interview yesterday, and I believe that Jeremy Hogan actually touched upon this over in his video also. So if you have no idea, it might be best to actually just take a look at those. However, Jeremy also responded saying, Congress can pass a law retroactively, and it would end the case. But that is very rare. More likely, new legislation would be proactive and clarify sales of XRP from that point on forward. That likely means relisting, etc., and John Deaton is out of the case and satisfied. Well, I guess from some perspective, it's not completely satisfactory, because that's again then for the future on forward. For right now, we'd still be in a little bit of a predicament, but it's basically the most important thing is that XRP is not a security anymore, right? What it was in 2017, 18, 19, 20. It's annoying, but I guess if it's not a security anymore from now, then Ripple has to pay a fine, but we're, I guess, in the clear because the exchanges can relist it. So the majority of the issues basically fade away. And again, the literal answer was some new rules can come at all points, can come at all time. But what are the chances that it's going to be a crypto rule book all of a sudden? Most likely, it'll be a CBDC book first, and then before the new crypto rules are actually in place, it'll most likely be at least 10 months further or something like that, and most likely the case will be over by then. If you're wondering when it will be over, once more, check out the interview. Check it out. Having said that, let's take a little bit of a look at this. I have a lot of cool stuff to talk about today regarding XRP and Vechain. So if you're holding any of those coins, guys, make sure you press that like button. I put my heart and soul into making these videos for you, so make sure you press that like button if you're enjoying them. All right. I just got a really interesting tweet. We'll cover that later. All right, fake Ripple XP email going around. Just wanted to quickly share that with you all. I don't want to go too far into it because I think YouTube might flag this as some sort of scam, so I want to be kind of careful with that. But I basically noticed that there's a lot of fake Ripple emails going around, fake MetaMask emails and fake emails of this sort. Just make sure you understand that you check the email properly. But even if you check the email and it looks legit, make sure that it makes sense for yourself to be getting an email. There's a very good chance it's still fake if it doesn't make a lot of sense, because you can even get text messages from like legitimate numbers that are not legitimate, if you guys get my drift. I sometimes get text messages from, for example, Google, where I know that that's not Google sending me the message, and I think the same can happen with emails too, where they mask it in some way, shape, or form. So be careful with emails, very much so. You don't want to lose your crypto that way. All right, James Fillon shared this a little bit earlier yesterday. Just wanted to quickly catch you guys up to speed again. We got our motion to extend time completed, which basically meant that the lawsuit is going to kind of take a little bit longer to February 28th. What we also got yesterday, which we covered in the stream right here, was that we had a kind of small victory, I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but we got a small victory for Ripple in the sense they got granted quite a lot of information from the SEC. But in the way in which it was not that much a victory was because, like a couple of the lawyers have said, we wanted to actually get even more. We wanted to get even more information. And since we didn't, you can actually call this a little bit of a victory for the SEC side, but it just depends on what exactly we do end up getting. One of the things we know we're going to get is the emails surrounding the William Hinman speech. And so that's definitely a juicy little thing. All right, moving on, Vechain. I guess I have some XRP stuff here as well, but we'll get to that in just a second. So regarding Vechain, I just wanted to quickly share, guys, those people are expanding like freaking crazy. Vechain is by far one of my favorite cryptos. I've told you guys that 1,000 times. But right now, they're making some really big steps into DeFi. And I think we should pay close attention to them for right now. Because think about it, guys. Think about it. If these guys are only now starting to dabble into DeFi, it probably won't be too long until they got some serious total value locked on there. And right now, to kind of get into the ecosystem as soon as possible is, I think, the best way of doing business. Because right now, we only got VUSD, which you don't necessarily have to buy because that's not an investment, right? But once they start onboarding more things on there, it could be something to look forward to or look into, because very often what we see is that when a next DEX comes up after an announcement like this, we get some crazy pump or things of this sort. So it's something I'm going to be watching for, because Vechain could get a nice little boost due to this new advancement. And Sunny Lou over on his Twitter is mostly also sharing the stuff regarding it. For example, VUSD is one of key infrastructure level 2 for DeFi and Web3. Can't wait to see VUSD is getting used for applications on Vechain Thor. Happy to announce that VUSD, Vechain Thor's first native stablecoin, will soon go live. Users and enterprises will be able to easily create and burn fully backed USD-based stablecoins, opening Vechain up to DeFi, Web3, and novel real-world use cases. Also, guys, I told you already, pretty excited for that. Not sure exactly how crazy the usage is going to be, but we know that the Vechain partnerships are rather insane, and so I see the chances as quite high that there's going to get some crazy adoption too, but we'll see about that. It doesn't really matter. It's about the rest of the ecosystem that's going to be built, right? Which is a lot more important. Then, in regards to XRP, yet again, Anders shared a couple of things of David Schwartz, which I really wanted to share. Here, David Schwartz clarifies that the Visa payment system itself doesn't settle funds. Visa is thus just a messaging system similar to SWIFT that has to settle payments afterwards. I could see them being incentivized to have this capability as well as gaining revenue. There's just a small little section. Let's check it out. RippleNet is a payment system. It's somewhat analogous to something like Visa. Just like Visa, it doesn't actually move any money. It just records payments and adjusts balances. This is why you have to pay your credit card bill, and Visa has to deposit money in your merchant's bank account. After a Visa payment, the customer settles with Visa, and Visa settles with the merchant. The Visa payment system itself doesn't actually settle. XRP is an asset that can be used for settlement. It's kind of like gold that can instantly teleport around the world. It does actually move value, and there's nothing to settle afterwards because it's literal instant settlement, nearly instant settlement. RippleNet is superior to existing payment systems for several reasons. It completes the payment instantaneously and ensures end-to-end communications that avoid failures and the need for humans to track payments manually. Very juicy. So that's one little thing about why I guess Ripple is pretty superior to Visa and whatnot. But then again, you can kind of see in a certain sense why they can also work together. Because from some perspective, you might say, well, if the messaging is being done on the front end, but we also get the settlement in the back end instantly, that's something you can definitely combine, right? If you don't want everything in one suit, you can kind of combine and mix things. And moving on, David Schwartz also shared this, which I think is rather interesting. I believe it's Anders who portrayed something of his, yes. Here's why stablecoins are not solving the issue, which XRP does solve. So David said on Quora, it misses the point of blockchain completely. The root problem is that global payment infrastructure is centralized. IBM, Swift, and the rest of the old guard attempt innovation with blockchain, but do not solve the centralization issue. IBM has positioned itself as the central operator of the Stellar network, meaning it approves all validators and therefore controls the transactions. The use of stablecoins doesn't actually make sense to me. Even if all the banks got regulatory approval to issue their own stablecoins, would they all use each other's stablecoins or go from their stablecoin to Lumen's to the other bank's stablecoin? With the goal of mass adoption, a universal bridge asset has to be geopolitically neutral, and a USD-backed stablecoin doesn't solve for that. I don't see how centralized stablecoins can be part of global pools of liquidity that anyone can contribute to and draw off of. So this is something to really think about for ourselves, you know? He's basically calling out JPM, the JP Morgan coin. And I guess most stablecoins, really, for asking the question of why is it that some people call it superior to something like XRP, because it's literally not the same thing. It's literally serving a different purpose, and from some perspective, it's just not the thing which the newer financial system, I should say, is looking for, if you ask me. Then again, guys, remember, nothing I say right here is financial advice, and a lot of things I say here are allegedly. We're just trying to combine all the news I find throughout the interwebs and then draw our conclusions. At the end of the day, if you're investing or if this is the truth, is something else that you can only decide for yourself, because we're not really going to find out if if it's actually officially true. Then again, these are just opinions, of course, and the XRP stuff is just I guess, theory or whatever we want to call that. Moving on, though, we got some more. Zweiberg also shared some more about Vechain. I'm doing a little mix-up, huh? Doing a little dabbling left, dabbling right with the Ripple Vechain news. Vechain becomes the first 5-star rated blockchain service provider in the world, certified by TÜV Saarland, a renowned institution accredited by national governments. So, I guess TÜV Saarland, nice little announcement. This news is ancient. Okay. I didn't know that before, but I guess it could be that this is old stuff indeed, because old gold. Okay, we're not gonna give that too much then. I'm not exactly sure when it's from. 2-year-old already. Okay, 2019. Yeah, not that relevant. I didn't actually see that before. I don't really care either because I don't really know too much about this certification nor what it means. I guess it's nice to have it in the back of our heads that they got it though, even though it's old news. So I won't be putting that in the title, I guess. And last but not least, there's 2 things which happened. One is Dogecoin is now accepted by Tesla. I'll make a special video partially about that. And Peter Schiff shared some more fun news about crypto on Twitter. So this always makes me laugh, though. He's doing his best so much to just numb it down. It's like, why? Bad news for Bitcoin. Cathie Wood of ARK fell another 5% today, hitting a new 50. I guess her fund, right? ARK, okay. Fell another 5% today, hitting a 52-week low. 50% below its February 2021 high. GBTC closed down another 4.5% today. It's now 48% below its February 2021 high, trading at a 23.5 discount to net asset value. Speculators are taking their chips off the table. Connor said, "Do you think it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, Peter?" And Peter Schiff said, "No, I think it's a great time to sell Bitcoin." Which brings me to the point of there's always going to be people who are prioritizing gold over Bitcoin. Or in general, they just have a certain narrative to push. Peter Schiff is one of that nature as well. Benjamin Cohen, rightfully so, calls him out saying, imagine if you posted this anytime gold dropped, would basically be a daily occurrence because, well, at the end of the day, gold really hasn't performed that well over this time period either. We can actually say that Bitcoin is still superior to gold in terms of returns. However, if you're talking about stable coins with, I guess, a downward sloping course, gold does do a better job, and maybe over longer periods of time, gold will do better. Who knows, right? It's definitely hard to say. Ooh, I'm getting some hatred, I see. Somebody's following me saying, worst tweeter and video maker. Interesting. Very nice. I want to say gold might do better over long periods of time. Who knows, right? But in a certain sense, I think it's worth it to play around the crypto game because I think the gains will be a lot better. And gold is not necessarily finite, at least we don't necessarily know yet if it is, because you're not sure where you can grab it from eventually and whatnot. We talked about this more often. We'll most likely talk about that more often in the future as well. Having said that, guys, let me know in the comments section down below what crypto you'd like us to talk about next. I'm thinking of making a video about HBAR, also potentially Algorand. A lot of you guys have been commenting about QNT, but I thought the QNT community is not that big. But if you guys are holding QNT, let me know in the comment section down below. We might talk about it in the next video. I also have been seeing a lot of people talk about IOTA. Maybe that's going to be coming up soon. Let me know in the comments section down below what you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video very soon.